What's up guys, Hades here. We need to talk about farming gnomes, all the details you need to know, when to farm them, how much to farm, and all the little tips and tricks I can teach you. This is going to be an extensive guide for anyone who's new, and even some of the long-term standing players are going to learn something here. So, first of all, when to farm gnomes. Very, very important. You are doing it on double rewards. If you're ever going to use action potions, you need to use them on double rewards. Never, ever, ever use action potions not on double rewards. Because why would I use it yesterday when I could just wait and use it today? That's my biggest tip. Do it on double rewards. If you have it now, do it now, because I'm doing this on the first day that it's out. If you don't have your calendar synced with mine, do it when you have it available to you. Now, why is this so important and why am I talking about this? Well, when we got the new update, we got the new Mythic equipment. Now, if you haven't done it yet, when you change a normal legendary item to a mythic item, let me give an example, it goes back to 0 and you have to re-level it back to 60. But you don't get to use the regular enchants. You have to use the new, here it is. You have to use the new advanced enchant stones. So when you start farming gnomes, I believe 56 to 60, you can get enchanted stones and advanced enchant stones. And this is the key. Until you've actually made a gear level 60 and then refreshed it, you can't even see these advanced stones. I was talking to a player. It's just something we have to deal with right now. You can't see it. So I'll show you what it looks like. When I go into my con and I click strengthen, you can see here at the top, I have 1.2 million enchanted stones, the advanced levels, and I have 16 million of the regular ones. It is very expensive to get gear to 60. I only have 3 pieces to 60, and I accidentally leveled like 10 pieces of gear and then lost all my stones and wasn't able to get level 60. So what you want to do, so that you don't make the same mistakes as me, is only do the weapons on your main carries to 60 first. So what I should have done is level 60 weapon on Alex, level 60 weapon on Khan, level 60 weapon on Poseidon, then gone to my other carries and then leveled their gear one at a time. Because what ended up happening was I just got excited, clicked Bjorn when I got 100, leveled his, clicked Cow when I got his 100, leveled his, clicked Khan when I got his, and then I ran out. Do not make the same mistakes. But because we're getting to that phase where a lot of people are starting to get 100, we need a ton of enchanted stones. Now, when you get it to level 100, you are able to re-roll it, right? That has nothing to do with the enchant stones. You don't need it. You're only going to need one of the new forging stones. So when you're farming gnomes, there's a few small details you need to know. If you are struggling, I would highly recommend the core skin. If you don't have that, anything with like damage reduction and combat stats is going to be great for you. If you're farming a ton, and I'm talking about that in a moment, I would recommend March speed so that you can speed it up. Now you might think, well, I would want March speed in the talents. That's actually not true. What you really want, this is the most important stone Lord talent you have, is the pack light. You want this level 5 the entire time you're farming. If you don't have this, you're gonna miss out on, depends how many you do, but I'm gonna farm maybe 50,000 AP. I'm probably gonna save myself 100 extra gnomes just by equipping this pack light. It's really, really important. Now what you also want to do is have Divine Walker. This is going to give you 3 free hits every day. Something you should be doing probably anyways, even on non-gnome days, but just a little extra something. If you're a bit lower level and you cannot yet do the 60s, or you can't do them without taking heavy losses, I would recommend Safe and Sound. This is going to give you no deaths on 6 hits every single day, which is going to be really valuable. Now, another tip that I have that I think a lot of people aren't doing. I know I have a few friends who are a little OCD and they like having the same amount of action pots. So they'll have like 200, 200, 200. That's really, really bad. I highly, highly, highly recommend using all your medium pots until they're gone and then using gem AP every single day. What I did yesterday, right before reset, is I used all 8 gem AP. That gives me 500 times 8. Then I get to farm all that thousands of AP Then at reset, I get to do it again, and then I'm gonna do thousands of AP, all from AP that wouldn't be available if you locked all 3 of your action pot spots. Now, on these type of days, if you are a bigger player or you are a spender, I highly recommend using a good portion of your action potions. Now, my suggestion is using about 30 to 40% of them. So if you have 100, I would use 30 or 40. So I have 200, so I'm gonna use between 30 and 60, right? And it's to each their own. If you are a newer account, you might want to be a little heavier because you're gonna be more behind. And if you're an older account, you want to balance what you like. Keep in mind, this becomes your reserve in KVK, so you don't want to dip too low just in case you're doing a ton of fighting in a KVK. Now, the final piece that some people don't think about is that you're constantly getting AP all day long, right? If you go and you just use, and you stack this up to 5,000 and then click raid, you're gonna have 20 plus minutes of raiding where you're actually not gaining AP, which is gonna lose you gnomes per hour, right? Because when you're a higher level player or you're a long-term player and you go to use your AP, this takes a very, very long time to use. When I say long, like think about how long a raid takes. I'll do a 2,000 action points. I'll set a raid, and this is gonna take some time, right? I have to do 30 gnomes, and each one's taking me what? 15 seconds out, 15 seconds back. That's 15 times 2, which is 30 seconds. So I can do 2 gnomes a minute, right? So this is gonna take me 15 minutes just to farm this. And I have to spend 50,000 plus in the next couple days. And you can't always watch it, and you shouldn't go over 2,000. One more thing you do need to think about is how many troops you're actually losing in a report. In this report, I only have 100 dead and 200 wounded because this is a fast team, right? The match only lasts 16 seconds. The opponents only really hit me with their starship, but because I hit so fast, I heal off of Sturdy Barrier from my tank, and I take a ton less damage from Fountain of Life, and then I burst them down with the rest of my team. I'm not going to take a bunch of damage, but this works with everything. The cheap build that I showed you with Alex and kind of hybrid YSS, you're going to take almost no damage. Regular hybrid team, you're going to take almost no damage. Double tank with a mage, you're going to take almost no damage. As long as you set up the teams right and you have Spring of Life, you're going to be just fine. Now, if you go with a slower team, which I did here just as an example, my Poseidon is slow. He takes time to build up, and all 3 characters behind him aren't going to do any damage, which means I end up taking too much. Even though I have 2 healers, Athena heals you when you get lower, or she's better at healing when you're lower, and Cow heals the front line, it doesn't matter. You take a lot of burst damage from the ship, and then if you let them get their ults off and it lasts longer than about 20 seconds, then this happens, right? And you take 6 mil, and then you take a bunch of losses, and this is gonna really hurt. If I took this kind of damage and I did like 500 gnomes in a day, that's not sustainable, right? Now, the final reason we should be doing lots and lots of gnomes is level 60 is so hard to get. Look at this. It is 500 million XP from 59 to 60. Going back 1 level is half. And then if you go back to 57, it's half again. So it's an exponential gain on how hard it is. And you'll probably notice your 2nd or 3rd March is definitely going to be stuck at 58, 59 because it's really slow getting XP in this new update, which is just another cherry on top why we should be extra farming as many gnomes as we can while we can. I hope you guys like these kind of videos, giving you all the tips and tricks you need to be successful in Infinity Kingdom. And if you do, make sure to leave a like and a comment, and I'll check you guys in the next one.